I might need to break this up into multiple parts for Instagram because I actually don't know what the limit is. So I'll try and keep this as brief as possible, but I may have to cut this up. So I've spoken before about good quality conversation online and how it's something that I really hope to find more of, and is kind of one of the reasons why I'm online in the first place. But I wanted to explain what I consider to be good conversation. So first of all, I love messages that have actual content in them. That means that the person, puts the effort into the messages. I always find that emoji replies or message reactions are simply a polite way of bringing a conversation to a close, or at least that's how I take it. Or at the very least, it's a sign that I'm going to have to carry this conversation by myself. Whereas good quality replies actually make me feel like maybe this person wants to have a conversation with me. Maybe I'm welcome, maybe I'm someone they feel comfortable with. And I have to confess as well, I also have a bit of a thing for visual audio communication, like video or audio messages, or maybe even flat out live video or audio calls, because that way not only do I get to know who I'm actually talking to, but I also get to feel like I'm actually having a really good conversation with somebody, like an actual real conversation. Another thing I like is good continuity. So what I mean by this is I like chats that just run and run and run. So if one of us has to leave, I actually prefer it if they just leave the chat where it is. Don't announce that they're leaving. So that way the next time they come back, they can pick the chat up where it left off. So that way it continues. We don't have to go back to the hi, how are you, what you up to, small talk. Plus there's no debate as to who has to start the conversation first next time, which I know becomes a point of contention for some people when they feel that they're the ones that always have to start the chat. I like those conversations that seem to go on forever, even if we only talk maybe a few times a day. Another thing as well is time. Now, I don't think people should be online talking to each other all the time, but definitely I like to hear from people more than once a week or once a month or whenever they're bored or something. Another thing as well is intent. I like it when I know that someone's talking to me because they're interested in talking to me. Not only do these things for me signify a good conversation, but it also means that I can actually get to know someone on a slightly personal level. I mean, obviously there's always going to be this barrier because we're online, but I've known, dynamics online where I felt much closer to them than certain people in my personal life because of the effort and the time we put into each other. Also, when I, meet new people online, I'm never thinking to myself, right, I'm going to meet this person one day. In my mind, I'm happy if, 5 years down the line, we're still talking to each other, even if we haven't met. But you never know, it's always a possibility. But I have to say that I'll be more likely to turn up for someone or arrange to meet someone who's had good conversations online. If they're sloppy, if I have to constantly remind them to come back or remind them that I exist, or I have to carry the conversation, that to me is someone who's probably not going to show up, and they're probably not even going to tell me that they've had to cancel, or somebody that might not be fun to hang around with. So this is what I consider to be good conversation, as well as why it's important for me. Obviously I try and be this way myself, although I do drop out if I start to see signs that I might be annoying the person or that I might only exist when they want something. But anyway, that's just my take on it.